Good evening and welcome to Changi Airport, currently parking stand Foxtrot 52, and what a momentous occasion it is, sitting outside here, the Singapore Airlines 737-800. Momentous occasion today it is because it is the last or second last revenue sector of the NG that's going to be operating ever for SIA. This aircraft will be heading off to Qantas very shortly. So last two sectors today, Kathmandu to Kathmandu and back. Mike Golf November is the actual aircraft. As you can see, this is the registration that we have. Just a bit of modification of the livery from Al-Lubi. I think that's how you pronounce it. Very nice livery indeed too. And yeah, also at the real gate here, Foxtrot 52, and what a beautiful aircraft is. Yeah, just couple of years ago when Mike Golf Alpha was first repainted into the SIA colors, everyone was like, oh, it looks really strange to see the new SIA livery on a narrow body, but yeah, I think it actually looks really nice, yeah, and it's here to stay, with the fleet of, I think currently right now they have 19 Maxes with a couple more on order. Yeah, so very nice indeed. Sitting here on VETSIM, of course. Local time right now is actually exactly 6:34 p.m. and we have a scheduled departure of 6:50 local, so let's try to make that work, yeah. But really a very, very beautiful aircraft, yeah. And of course, yeah, soon this will be 2024, the NG, yeah, but yeah, very nice indeed, I have to say. Very nice, just, yeah, the colors, the cheat line, yeah, I hope they don't actually change this livery for a good time, because, yeah, it is a very nice livery here, the current SI livery, and yeah, it looks really nice on the NG, and the Max, of course, it's pretty much the same airframe. Yeah, so very nice, and you're asking why the jetway is not connected, because well, the Thai model scenery doesn't support jetway connections if you're at Foxtrot 52 right, which is a bit unfortunate, but that's fine. Right, so welcome to the flight deck here. The aircraft is all set up, ready to go as usual. So soon we'll get our clearance requested, but in the meantime, let's get the APU started. So I can start the APU. We'll set a timer here for 5 minutes. I'll take the bleed on after 5 minutes, yeah. So let's step through the operational flight plan here today. Singapore 442, Changi to Tribhuvan International, Mike Golf November. Yep, 737-800, CFM56-7B27 enhanced. Course index 30, ground distance 2041 nautical miles to run. And with an average wind component of 0 knots, that's quite interesting. ISR deviation +14. So initial cruising today will be 340, and actually along our route, along Lima 515, according to the Thailand AIP, there's going to be no PDC flight level 340. Now higher is available with coordination, but we'll see what the real flight does, yeah, because this is a replication of the real flight, right? So try and keep it as realistic as possible. We'll go 340 initially, and then if they climb higher, we'll go higher. Yeah, sometimes they go lower than 340. It depends on flow control and all that lah. But yeah, we'll do 340 and then we'll see if they step up. We'll step up. Yeah. So there you go, second last revenue NG sector for SIA. Indeed. So flight time expected to be 4 hours 37 minutes. Reserve, final reserve 32 minutes. 30 minutes of reserve. Alternate is Kolkata. Block fuel 17.4 tons essentially. You've uplifted 18 tons in total. Well, it says 18.1, but it's actually 18 because, bit of refueling error. Yeah, I put in exactly 18089 kilograms, yeah. So, reason being because there's some thunderstorms en route, and also if we are cruising lower, we will use a bit of extra fuel now. Yeah. Weather at Kathmandu is forecast to be good, as we'll see later, and at our alternate right now it's hazy, but it should clear up. But anyway, both are fine. Yeah. So final reserve plus alternate comes up to 3.8 tons. So routing today, this is the exact routing that's going to be flown by the aircraft. I was able to, quite fortunately, be able to see. It's going to be the Rosso 5 Bravo departure, a Rosso, and then all this down here, okay, via the Yankee 501, 502 to Dubex, and 325 gonna be passing Phuket over here. Then to Kula, Lima 515, gonna be Yangon FIR ready. Okmok, then crossing the Andaman Sea and Bay of Bengal to Papco, Mike 773 Calcutta, then 58 Romeo 581 to Romeo for the Romeo 3 Romeo arrival, which transitions via Ratan to the RNP Zulu 02 authorization required approach into Kathmandu, which is quite interesting because I've never actually flown that before on the NG yet. Yeah, because since PMDG updated their database, yeah, previously I flew the pseudo RF Lake one, yeah, but this one is going to be interesting to see the aircraft performance. Of course, we'll closely monitor. So you can see flight level change down to, okay, extra 150 kilos basically. Yeah, so if we go further down, we'll need even more lah. So as scheduled off block time 50, okay, block in time 35 local, which is 1550 Zulu, so exactly 5 hours of block time. Estimated 5 hours 7 minutes, that's fine. We took 20 minutes for taxi here and 10 minutes for taxi in. We'll meet much less than that, so we should be on time even with a slightly late departure. So 148 bags on board today. This is, I think, also the very close to the exact number. It's no less than this, probably not much more as well, because I checked it by booking, quite close to when they cut the bookings. Yeah, so it should be exactly 148. Business class 12 is full. Out of the 150 packs, there are 136 in economy. Yeah, so the actual aircraft for the NG it's 162. The PMDG one's 160. So on the way back, actually, we'll have 2 less passengers. Yeah, because the flight back is full as far as I can tell. So quite a bit of cargo we're taking today, 4.7 tons, which is quite a bit more because as I understand it, this is they do put quite a bit of cargo in this, and why I guess so is because on some days they actually deploy a 7-8, and why not deploy? And the aircraft is never really full for the 7-8. Yeah, load factor is never really close to 90%, or even it's probably about 70 to 80. And I think they deploy 7-8 instead of like the 350 because of the extra cargo space. Yeah, the 7-8 7-10 can take 40 pallets, 40 ULDs. The 350 can take 36. Yeah, so it's 18 tons versus about 22 tons. So I think that's why, and therefore I think probably decent amount of cargo they're carrying. So it's giving us a 0 fuel of 59.6 tons. Fuel on board we took 18 tons, so extra 600. There were extra 600 here, so 77.3. And then after that here it's going to be extra, well, let's say extra 600 or so, which will bring us to 64.7, which is still well within limits. So all of these are well within limits. Okay. So routing today, okay, here all looking good. Let's take a look here at the. We'll skip this to take a look at the weather reports. We're not going to use the takeoff landing report now. Okay, but actually on the way back we'll probably use the Simply Performance calculator for a good reason that basically the PMDG one doesn't support 27k bump, which we will need 27k bump to get out of Kathmandu. So, couple SIGMETs which we'll review later. Departure of Singapore currently QNH 1007, 206 knots, so runway 20 in use. You take 20 center. Few clouds broken, no zig. Okay, that's fine. Tribhuvan 8000, 2708 knots. So it's going to be favoring a runway 20 approach. Well, actually not really. A 270 is kind of just left. Excuse me, left crosswind. 1017 no zig. Okay, so that's fine. And becoming during our arrival time, which is let's see, yeah, we're expected to arrive during this timing here, so yeah, should be fine. Altitude is Calcutta, currently it's 3500 haze, but becoming during our arrival time, which is this window here, 3405, yeah, so it should be all good lah. Okay, yeah, should be fine. Hopefully it's cleared up, because after that it's going to be missed again. So no temps, okay, follow the greens basically. And then Sierra 2 close, November 1, 517 left close, Whiskey 8 close. Other than that, nothing much. No temps available for Kathmandu, unfortunately, but some construction in progress lah, yeah, but it's not really relevant because the scenery won't be depicting that. And the destination alternate for Calcutta, okay, couple items, yeah, okay, which we won't review because, well, frankly, we're not going to be diverting there, yeah. So on road NOTAMs check, really nothing much really to pay attention to. Yeah, just a couple of yeah, nothing much basically. Yeah, some restrictions on the airways, but they don't really apply to us. So let's take a look down here at the weather charts. So this is the overall routing. Okay, you can see here. Yeah, looking pretty good. No ETOPS today because we're crossing quite close to Yangon and all that lah. Okay, yeah. So basically tracking northwest, leaving coast of Peninsular Malaysia, crossing over Phuket, Andaman Sea, Bay of Bengal, and then up north into India and then Nepal. So initially over here you can see occasional sea breeze here and here, okay, over the Bay of Bengal and Andaman Sea. So that's why we might need some weather deviation. We'll see lah. Okay, coming into here looks fine. Some turbulent, moderate to severe, well, light to moderate, and then moderate to severe turbulence forecast over the northern part of the Himalayas. Okay, so this area is China already, but we won't be crossing to that. But well, maybe we can expect some bumps on descent into Kathmandu. Alright, overall I'm looking, yeah, pretty decent indeed. So currently stating here at Foxtrot 52, let's turn on a bit of lighting here. Let's get the dome light on as well, so it gets a bit dark here. And it's already been 9 minutes, so we can actually take the APU bleed on. We won't do the power change yet lah. Yeah. So currently setting Foxtrot 52, according to pushback.vac.org, the pushback procedure is to push to face south on taxi Romeo 7 aircraft, thereafter towed to Romeo 17 noses in leading line to Bay Foxtrot 52. So let's see whether there's EOP and EOT markings, which there are. Yeah, actually, that's quite nice to see. So down here, and yeah, I think we'll just use that as the marking lah. Yeah, so do something like that. Actually, it's a bit back, maybe something like this, and then this, yeah, just to follow the line a bit more closely. Okay, something like that. Then toe forward to nose beam, yeah, then position. So thereafter Foxtrot 52 right, going to be taxiing out via Romeo 6, well, Romeo 7, Romeo 6, Romeo 4 Tango, all the way up to the Tango 2 holding point runway 20 center. Yeah, we will take full length down today, 4,000 meters, takeoff run available. So let's look at the performance for this. Okay, Singapore Changi 20 center 4,000. We put in 77.6 because that's the current weight of the aircraft, so it's a slightly conservative estimate. We will probably burn off about 200 on taxi, so 77.4. Packs on, NTIs is off. Okay, current weather, oh, now it's the 1008. Okay, let's update QNH once, twice, and 3 times. Yeah. So let's see, 1005 acceleration, flap 5, takeoff 45. Oh, there you go, the lighting just turned on now. Okay, so now it's slightly changed now. So flap 5, takeoff 45, 53, 53, 57, 95.6% and 1. So they basically just changed the cycle temperature now. Yeah. Not a big problem. Takeoff speed later noted, 95.8. Slight difference because of we have the APU bleed on now. Yeah. So 52, 53, 56. Within 1 knot of the OPT is checked. Trim is still 6.01 units, right? There you go, it is. And let's actually change here to reduction, acceleration to be 3000. Okay. We'll do NADP 1. However, what we're going to do on the departure is we're going to buck the speed to be approximately 183. Now, why 183? Simple, because if you look at VREF 40, VREF 40 is currently 153. Flap 5 speed is 183 because it's plus 30 of VH-40 lah. So I think what they do for, especially for sudden departures, from rate 20 departures, they will fly NATP 1, but they won't even clean up until establish on direct to Takeoff. So that's what we're going to give ourselves. Shortly after departure, left heading, something like 040 maybe. Okay. Actually, let's see on flight route 24 what they're doing now. Yeah, we'll try and follow it closely. So at the moment, I can see, yeah, actually after departure, basically just left turn. Yeah, left turn. Yeah, just straight away left turn direct Takeoff. Maybe left turn 030. I see one aircraft I've been given. Yeah, looks like left turn 030 and then direct Takeoff. So we'll do that. Yeah. So keep the flap 5 speed until we are nicely heading towards Takeoff. Okay, and then we'll start cleaning up. And since the flap 5 speed is 183, now V2 is 157. RG now is 156. Okay, so V2 is currently 156. V2 plus 15. That's going to be our target. It's going to buck to V2 plus 15 before the acceleration, which is going to be 181. Sorry, 171 rather. So 171. Therefore, we are going to have to increase speed slightly. Yeah, to the 183 lah. Okay. And it's probably going to be 182 by the time we burn off a little bit of weight. Yeah, the VH-40 will drop a little. Okay, we can stop this timing over here. Okay, and yeah, if all is good, we will probably prepare to go for clearance shortly. Let's continue the rest of the briefing actually. So all looking good here. NATP 1 departure, engine out, acceleration up to 2005 now. So as you can see over here. No, yeah, there you go, 1005 acceleration. So it's going to be the Rosso 3 Bravo departure, shall not exceed 230 until passing 4000 and not exceed 250 until passing 10,000. Okay, that's fine, we'll keep that in mind because we're going to be bugging 185 and then by the time we direct the Gong, we'll probably be passing 4000 already. Yeah, so yeah, steep requirements for 20 lah. That's why I think SIA does that. So let's go to the plan page, take a look here. So first we have Ibixu above 1005, then up to Ibiza above 2500 feet, then to Bont, then we have 4000 at Bont, Salru, and then to Takong above 7000, and then to Akoma above 1000, then to Akmet. No, Akmet is Akmet and then Aroso. Yep. So that's our departure, fairly straightforward. Fixed rings have been put 15 miles for the engine out procedure, and then 11 miles to Gong, 25 miles, and then radio 360 to mark out the radios. Basically within 11 miles, 2000 is the MSA. Okay, 1007 for sector. Then past 11 miles up to 25. West of radio 360 is 3100, and then east of radio 360 is 1009. So keep 2000 basically everywhere except for the quadrant on the right. Over here, actually plan would look better. Yeah, this quadrant. Let's zoom out further. Yeah, this quadrant over here, we will have to step up to 4000 or well at least above 3100 feet. So fairly straightforward. Engine out procedure, heading select, heading 203, climb to 1500 feet, then accelerate the aircraft, and MSA will keep to 2000. Okay, so 2000, and then right hand pattern for ILS approach left hand traffic pattern for ILS approach 20 center. Okay, 20 center is preferred because landing distance available is much longer. 201 has a displaced threshold. Courses set for 203, both sides already, and we got frequency 109.72. 1165 is the Gong, 1089 is 20 right. Minimum set 216 here. 216 has been set on both sides as well. Okay, so that's why it did. I wanted. They changed the QNH instead of the minimums. Or did I change the minimums to the QNH? Okay, initial clearance 3000 feet is to be expected.
Head to the runway 20 center via taxiway Whiskey,
below 80 knots reject for any master caution or abnormalities. Above 80 knots reject for engine failure, engine fire, aircraft unsafe, unable to fly. wind shear warning. I'll call stop, disconnect auto throttle, close the throttles, manually raise the speed brake lever, apply maximum reverse, and apply max manual braking. You verify that the throttles have been closed, auto throttle has been disconnected, when speed brake is up, max reverse has been applied, max manual braking or the operation of RTO auto brake. You call 100 knots, 80 knots, 60 knots, stop your aircraft on the runway, set flap 40, you inform air traffic control of the reject, and we will take it from there, identify the proper plant evacuation checklist. So push back, taxi out, sit, you sit, rejected takeoff has been briefed, let's get our clearance. Okay, so yep, let's first listen to the ATIS, if there's an ATIS available, 128.6 for the departure ATIS. 1286.
Acknowledge ATIS Oscar. Singapore Changi Airport, departure, Infra Oscar, time, 1030, departure runway 20 center, sport mode Charlie on all taxiways. Taxi designations may not be accurate on scenery, refer to chart.
Okay,
Wind, 180 degrees, 5 knots, direction variable between 160 and 230 degrees, visibility, 10 kilometers, cloud, view, 2000 feet, broken, 16,000 feet, temperature, 30, dew point, 22, QNH, 1008, hectopascals, trend, knotted, departures, initial climb 3,000 feet, acknowledge ATIS Oscar. Singapore Changi Airport, departure, Infra Oscar, time.
Information Oscar, let's call delivery controller. At the moment there's only controller online, which is fine, I mean it's no issue. Yeah, we can get our clearance from him. 121.65, probably should tilt the other way, but it's fine. Singapore delivery, good evening. Singapore 442, stand Foxtrot 52, right, information Oscar, request clearance Kathmandu, flight level 340.
Singapore 442, Singapore delivery, good evening. You are cleared to Kathmandu via the also 5 Bravo departure. Expect flight level 340 and squawk 0161.
Singapore 442 cleared to Kathmandu, also 5 Bravo departure. Expect flight level 340, squawk code 0161.
Singapore 442 with deck is correct. No further ATC. Correction, monitor advisory 122.8. Good day.
Advisory 122.8, Singapore 442. Good day, thank you. Okay, actually that's quite a realistic squawk code, because I saw that, you know, previous days it's been 636465 or 2263 yeah, so it's not too bad, yeah. Okay, very nice. 6 minutes delay, let's do the pre-flight checklist. Then we get to the passenger brief. Okay, so probably end up being 10 minutes delayed. So pre-flight checklist, oxygen tested 100%, navigation transfer display switches, we have normal auto, window heat is on, pressurization mode selector auto set for flight level 340, flight instruments heading 292, 292, QNH 1008, set once, twice, 3 times, indicating altitude 30 feet, once, twice, 3 times, cross check. Parking brake is set, engine start, levers cut off, pre-flight checklist complete. So ladies and gentlemen, very good evening, welcome to board Singapore Airlines 442 service to Kathmandu. With me the flight deck is senior first officer blah blah blah, and looking after the cabin is a team of 4 crew members looked after, led by in-flight manager blah blah blah. So do apologize for the slight delay here, we just received air traffic control clearance and we should be going very shortly. Flight time today expected to be 4 hours and 40 minutes, cruising at approximately 34,000 feet initially. We do expect some thunderstorms en route, so we do advise to keep your seatbelt fastened whenever you're seated for your own safety, and to return to your seat when the seatbelt sign is turned on. When the Kathmandu expected to be relatively decent for our arrival, we update you the latest weather information before we start our descent. Thank you for choosing to fly with Singapore Airlines. If you do wish to monitor progress on flight, you can do so via the overhead chat screens, which you won't have to do anymore after today. Thank you very much, and we wish you a pleasant flight. Okay, so that's the PA complete. Let's call for the before start checklist. Actually, before that, do the power change first. Power change. All set up here. Wheel well can come off and go to a view gen. And go FS sections and get rid of the chocks and all that. So release ground power. Everything else is green. Remove chocks. Excellent. So before start checklist, please, and let's call for the tug.
Cockpit to ground.
Before start checklist, EFB is airplane mode, papers, logbooks on board, doors closed, and the flight deck door is locked. Fuel, we've got 18.1 tons on board, okay, way more than our block required of 17.4 basically. Yeah, 7352. So fuel pumps, we have 6 on, crossfit closed, passenger signs are on, windows locked. MCP V2 156 heading 203 altitude 3000 feet. CDA pre-flight is completed.
Okay,
Rather, V speeds first. Takeoff speeds V1 152, VR 153, and V2 156.
The parking
Checked and
brakes are
sent.
set. You may lift.
CDA pre-flight is complete. Rather, aileron trim
Parking brake set.
3 and 0. Taxi takeoff briefing complete and holding at collision.
Standing by for pushback.
Okay, let's check the area behind the aircraft. Is that clear? So the cul-de-sac is clear. Right side is clear. So anyone taxiing in? No. Okay, looks like we're all clear to go. So take the anti-collision.
Scramble traffic transport 369 line up and wait at runway 20 center.
Cockpit to ground.
So we keep the pumps, both pumps on since they got a lockout pin. Excellent.
We are cleared for start and push.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brakes are
Brakes released. So off clock time 0, 0. So 10 minutes delay, that's fine. Singapore traffic, Singapore 442, pushback Bay Foxtrot 52 right to face south on taxiway Romeo 7, Singapore traffic. Okay, 10 minutes of delay, not too bad. Let's see what the actual aircraft is at the moment. Where is 442? Okay. The signal hasn't become live yet, so maybe they are taxiing out here. Anyway, we'll be faster than them because there's no traffic. Yeah. So cabin crew will be arming doors, cross-checking now, and let's say ground crew gives us a signal to start engines. So start sequence will be 2 then 1. Starting number 2. Okay. And 2. All pressure. And 1. Fuel flow, EGT. So yeah, that does tend to happen if you lag a little. It is yeah, pushback thing. That's fine. So 50% N2 voice recorder trips back to auto. 56, we have the start switch. Thereafter, starter cutout, monitoring 2. So towing forward now, 2 stable, starting 1. We do an isolated bike start today, yeah? Yeah, just to make it slightly more comfortable for the passengers.
Please set your parking brake.
So N2, oil pressure, N1.
Ground. You may disconnect.
So brake set.
Okay, sir. Clear to disconnect.
So fuel flow, EGT rising, duct disconnecting. Starter cutout, monitoring 1 stable. Okay, and therefore now do the upstart flows, which involves this.
Singapore traffic, 10,036 minor. Takeoff from the runway 20 center now.
And we'll do the flight control check. Verify takeoff seats noted. That's because of the discrepancy between the fuel. That's why that message comes up. Yeah, that's fine. So flight controls. And the rudder. Okay, flight controls checked. Recall has been checked, and before taxi checklist please. Generators on, propede on, NTIs off, hydraulic system switches on, isolation valve auto, engine start switches continuous. Recall checked, auto brake RTO, engine start levers idle T10. Flight controls checked, transponder altitude reporting off, and ground equipment. We have left side clear. And right side duct is clear, and let's say hand signal has been received. Okay, excellent. Okay, we are ready for taxi. Oh, there you go, it's airborne. Nice. Singapore traffic, Singapore 442, taxi, holding point runway 20 center via Romeo 7, Romeo 6, Romeo 4, Tango, Tango 2, holding point 20 center, Singapore traffic. So brakes released, config checked. So the left turn, first left over there will bring us out to Romeo 6 and then left Romeo 4 to join Tango. So Romeo 7 straight ahead is clear, Romeo 6 left side clear as well. You'll keep it to 10 knots over here lah, okay? Don't need to be too fast or so. So any changes to the departure briefing? None, absolutely none. Okay, all looking fantastic. So Romeo 4 on the left, that is checked. So this one is Romeo 4 lah. Yeah, that's what is implied by this taxiway marking over here, or rather taxiway signage. So right side Romeo 4 is clear, left side clear as well. And after turning left, Romeo 4 prepare to join Tango. How does Tango look? Right side clear. We'll check the left side once we have a better view. Okay, about now, how's it? Clear as well, excellent. So Tango confirmed. Right side clear, and left side clear as well. Oh, okay, that's the China Southern, China Eastern rather, coming airborne. Yeah, we're looking at certain directions. It's quite poor scenery, unfortunately. Okay, we'll go up to 20 knots. Okay, seems reasonable to go up to that. There's a vehicle there, but obviously we're gonna just ignore it. 3 minutes is up already. So there's the construction that's ongoing here at T2 Central Apron. Yeah. Okay, yeah. In real life, it's not currently in this state. This was a representative of something like 2024 state. Yeah, if I remember correctly. 2024. It looks something like that. Yeah, but I haven't had the time to go and update it, so that will have to do for now. So it looks like there's an aircraft coming here, but well, he's not broadcasting. But you know, nowadays no one really does any Unicom transmissions. Yeah, which is slightly unfortunate. Yeah, but well, it is what it is. So what airline is that? FedEx, yeah. Probably the PMDG 777F lah, if to go by statistical likelihood. So we're losing a little bit of speed because I guess we're heavy, so let's add a little bit of thrust.
Singapore traffic, Singapore 898, standard Alpha 14, pushing back on Victor, facing northeast, Singapore traffic.
That's actually quite realistic because 898, I believe departure time is 7 PM, yeah, it's to Hong Kong. So yeah, quite impressive. Okay, so as you can see here, Tango 4 is this rapid exit taxiway, which is not what we want. So any other traffic over here? None. Let's do the before takeoff checklist. So before takeoff checklist, flaps 5 green light and step trim 6.0 units set. Before takeoff checklist complete. So this will be Tango 3, next one Tango 2. Tango 3 confirmed. So Tango 2 we have left side clear. Anyone on Tango 1 coming up on Quebec also? No. Approach side is clear as well, and there shouldn't be anyone on the Delta side. Okay.
Singapore traffic, travel for 417, stand 508, commencing push and start for runway 20 center.
Singapore traffic, Singapore 442, line up runway 02, correction 20 center via Tango 2. Alright, so let's say clear to line up. Cabin crew, they'll take off stations, please. Thank you. So checklist complete. Left side is clear. Right side is clear as well. Weather radar on, transponder, everything all looking good. And lining up for the last timer for departure out of Singapore. The SING, well, in the revenue sector at least, it'll depart one more time for like Brisbane or Alice Springs. Alright, ready to go, let's go. Singapore traffic, Singapore 442, takeoff runway 20 center, also 5 Bravo departure. So takeoff. So thrust set. Checked.
brake.
Gear up. LNAV. VNF speed. So the thrust went back quite a bit, and that's because of some throttle noise. That's fine. 1005, we will come back again. So let's say pin turn to heading select, heading 030. And tilt to climb further now to 6000. So keep the speed roughly here. We'll bug for 185. Let's bug for 185, yeah. Okay, command A. Command. Okay, this should have been turned on, but it wasn't turned on, that's fine. Passing 4000, speed restriction 230 is cancelled. Let's say tilt to direct the Kong. So, direct to the Kong. Execute, LNAV. LNAV. Thousand to go, soon, let's say clear to climb flight level 240. 240 set. Coming up nicely on Tekong, close speed window. Accelerating, flaps 1. Match shading as well. And flaps up. Very nice. Okay, approaching 10,000. Man shading and 10,000. Lights. And we can go ahead. Let's see weather up ahead wise. Now I do see that, okay, which for some reason isn't appearing on the weather radar, but there appears to be something up ahead here because yeah, it's not particularly clear. And there's traffic 2,000 feet above us. Interesting. Okay, he's increasing also because we're accelerating now. We'll see about that. Yeah, that might be one of the China Eastern guys. Let me just check. So that should be China Eastern 536. So you should be going to Mersing. That means after for the Mersing departure. Let's see. For the Mersing departure after Akoma, he will be saying bye bye to us already. So yeah, shouldn't be too much of a worry. 1000 transition set standard once, twice, and 3 times. Standard set, passing flight level 114 now. Checked. Reset barrel means as well. Yeah, we'll keep the fasten belts on for a little longer. Yeah, just a little longer. So 5 minutes 40 seconds, yeah. So you can tell we're definitely heavy. Yeah. Okay, looks like I didn't actually get that reset, but I increased it rather. Okay, this one reset both sides. How's the weather? See some stars. Oh, there he is. There he is. Interesting. Wait, no, I don't think that's the FedEx. Yeah, that's not him. That's the FedEx, right? Gee, let me just check that sim radar. There's too big to be the Chinese, which I think it was a 320. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, indeed, FedEx 296. Yeah, heading off to Zulu Juliet Sierra Yankee, which if I what is Zulu Juliet Sierra Yankee? Sanya, yeah, with the Sanya. Anyway, yeah, he's going to Akoma. We're going to he's going to Mersing. We are going to Ekmet and Aroso. So looking good. Weather up ahead clear. Let's go fasten belts auto. And shading. Weather radar can come on this side also. So let's see where the real Singapore 442. Oh, the real Singapore 442 hasn't even pushed back. Or rather, the signal is not live yet. So that's interesting. Normally it's got on time. I don't know why today is delayed. Maybe because of some special occasion. Yeah. So let's get rid of the fixed rings as well. We don't need them anymore. So you can see optimum 350, yeah, but we'll still keep the 340 for now. Very nice, very nice. Southern Johor and Singapore, that's like the Johor Bahru, then Woodlands, all that. And see the dark patch here, that's the Central Catchment Reserve, I believe. Beautiful. Very nice sunset, the moon over here as well. Alright, so it's gonna be relatively uneventful from now on. Okay. We will then therefore see you for the arrival segments into Kathmandu, or maybe any particular events on the cruise, but unlikely to be. So just continue on towards our Rosso now, and then yeah, we'll see you shortly. Welcome back. Currently on descent passing flight level 208. Currently it's time 26, approximately 15 minutes prior to touchdown. So let's review the arrival here. Currently inbound waypoints just past waypoint Golf. So we are inbound waypoint for the Romeo 3 Romeo arrival into Kathmandu. So this is going to be quite a challenge to passing flight level 200. We already have a fastened belts on. Let's get cabin secured for landing. I mean, cabin is secure for landing. Let's get cabin crew to landing stations. Actually, no. Passing 10,000. Once we pass Rantan, then we'll go cabin crew to landing stations. Yeah. So, Kilo Tango Romeo 270 and below. It's checked. Kilo Tango 632. And after that, we Rantan. Speed restriction then 250 knots below. 10,500 feet and above. We are going to be below 250 now. As you can see, the meter is targeting because Kilo Tango 632 is really trying to slow down to meet the 200 restriction over here. Okay, but 10,500 above in Rantan. Then we have Guras, Kilo Tango 532, 200 below. Kilo Tango 530. This one really going to be at the under approach speed lah. Okay, so 153 knots, which is VREF plus 5, 8,700 feet exactly at 530. So this will be the RNP Zulu, runway 02 approach, authorization required, which SIA does have. In fact, I think most operators do have it. Yeah. I know in the past, well, at least 1 year ago, Druke and Royal Bhutan still flew the localizer approach, but I'm not sure whether they still do now, because that one's much steeper and that really have to be configured before even starting the approach. It's very steep, it's like 5 degrees, something like that. Actually, let's see, what is that approach? That approach is 5.31 degrees, yeah, until a certain point then it's 3 degrees, so that's very, very steep. So anyway, after 530, we'll be continuing on to 528, then Dover, Kilo Tango 524, 522, and then to 520, and then the threshold falls 370, 50 feet above the threshold 4320, that is checked, and then climb up all the way is 2.8 degrees down, that is all correct. So missed approach, this one also not so standard, it will be an escape route through the valley, 590, 592, 812 going to be 220 knots and below, 814 7,500 above, 914 8,500 above, dark, where there's a holding, we need to enter it. Then we have Kilo Tango 890, 10,000 above, 892, 894, 896, 898, and up to Dunphy, and then holding at Dunphy 10,500 above, 230 knots maximum. Yeah, this is fine. Okay. So as you can see here, we already have put in quite a couple bits of range rings drawn. So firstly, there's this one is a 25-mile ring. So this is to mark the MSA within 25 miles. This is 214. This is 107 and 118. Okay. So north of this is actually 284. You will treat this 284, and somewhere over here is also 284. But for our approach, for our requirements, basically it's 107 here and 118 here, and north 214, up to 50 miles. That is the MSA. Okay, passing flight level 150, transition set altimeters, once, twice, 3 times, QNH 1020, passing 14,500 feet. Now is checked, yeah, okay, slightly there, but okay, it's fine. Okay. So we are already approaching the decel points. Aircraft is starting to slow down now. Okay. So we selected flap 30 auto brake 3 for the landing today. Okay, main reason we want to do flap 30 is because we want to improve climb performance. Yeah. The initial bit, especially with an engine failure on approach, I really want less drag here. I think that's why they select flap 30 instead of flap 40. Yeah, because I know they do flap 30, even though the landing distance is quite high. We flapped 2,000 meters, so we plan to exit at taxiway Bravo. Landing distance available 2774 beyond glide slope because there's a displaced threshold, which is fine. So we'll take taxiway Bravo. If we cannot make Bravo, we'll take Alpha, that's fine. Okay, we'll try manual braking to vacate Bravo. Then taxi down Foxtrot to turn left onto correction to turn right parking stand 4. Okay, the actual aircraft will be arriving after us, but I have good reason to believe that it's going to be parking stand 4. Yeah. Okay, so Mr. Approach has been briefed. Okay, we put terrain up. Weather is no factor for us today. Yeah, but we do really need the terrain to help us. Okay, we'll constantly monitor the altitude and all that. Okay, be very careful. The approach should be protected. Okay, but okay, if we're gonna have a spurious warnings, I'm gonna ignore that. Okay, I'm not gonna put the terrain inhibit. I'm gonna keep it on to see how the aircraft does. Okay. Okay, so let's do the approach checklist. Approach checklist altimeter is 1020. Set once, twice, 3 times. Passing 12,000 now. Checked. Approach checklist complete. Okay, you can actually get the lights on already because yeah. No, we don't need the wing lights. Yeah, because we should be 10,000 AGL. Okay, that's what we're gonna use. So currently aircraft slowing down, okay, coming up to 25 miles over here. So Kathmandu VOR 113.2 has been tuned in. 13.1 is a localizer 02 approach for backup. And causes, final approach course 022. Even on the RMP Zulu it's also 022. Okay, so we're going to initiate the flare a little early because the density altitude is a bit higher. Okay, so yep, okay, should have called 1,000 to go. Let's say air traffic control has cleared us to commence the approach. Okay, so once we go below 1,005, we have to commit the approach. If not, we have to execute the mist already. Okay, so let's go 9,005. Cabin crew to your landing stations. Thank you. So aircraft continues to slow down. Kathmandu traffic Singapore 442 currently passing 1,000 feet inbound correction overhead waypoint Rantan, commencing the RMP Zulu runway 02 approach Kathmandu. So at the moment the real aircraft is actually, they actually climbed the flight over 360 and they're somewhere over Kolkata FIR. Yeah. Probably about half an hour behind us. Okay, this is going to be quite exciting. It's all looking good so far. Diesel schedule is looking fine. So Guras, okay, Ratan already met the 250 restriction. So 532 is the next one. Let's go flaps 1. Open speed window. Okay, I guess the scenery is loading in. So I do actually have a scenery package here for this particular airport, well, from Turtle Tank, and then there's the added bonus of having a runway profile by kychong.com. Yeah, to get a nice runway slope. Okay, there we go. Yeah, so the runway slope is going to be accurate, which means that the VNAVs will actually take us perfectly down to where we want to be. Okay, so we do have flaps 1. It's checked once we're 300 below 1005. I'm going to tune it up back to 1005, and it's going to be fast so we don't go into autoquiet. Okay. 1005, missile approach altitude is set. Passing 10,000 checked, we have lights on already. Okay, we are not really slowing down much, so let's go flat 5. Okay, we've got 532 restriction is 200 and then 530 is 170. Just gotta be a bit careful about that. In fact, let's bring out some speed brake. And then we'll use flap 10 for a bit of extra drag. Okay, but this aircraft is short view performance equipped, so actually flap 10 will not increase our drag that much. Okay, following the arc nicely. So 1530, that's when we will be 8,700 exactly. We need to monitor that. Let's go flap 10. Okay, let's go gear down, flap 15. Still the speed brake. Lap 30. Okay, 153, that's what we want. Okay, 528, gonna be 8240 and above. Landing checklist. Start switches continuous. Speed brake up, green light landing, gear down, triggering. Flaps 30, green light landing, checklist complete. Okay, up is going nicely. Set miss approach, set runway heading 022. So far looking good. We can see actually the approach lights in the valley already. So look at how close we are to the terrain. Yeah, really close. Yeah. I mean in daylight it'll be even more obvious, but this is actually really close to the terrain. Yeah, that's why the localizer has a dive. Okay, next one Dover gotta be 7,100 and above. So checklist complete, and let's say
terrain, pull up.
Okay, ignoring that. Kathmandu traffic Singapore 442. Final runway 02 Kathmandu. So SFLs are there, which is good because in real life there are SFLs, according to the chart at least. Yeah. So this scenery is actually quite accurate. The only problem is that the center line spacing is 15 meters. In real life I think it's 30 according to the charts at least. Okay, so Dover 71. Okay, that's checked. So that's 524. 524 got a 6740 and above. So you can see thrust setting is higher because of the shallow descent path and also because of the high density altitude. Yeah. And also because we're slightly heavier. So we definitely, all these add up to having to flare a little earlier. Okay, next one is gonna be Kilo Tango 522, which is 6270. And above, yeah. Okay, which is good. And actually we are quite visual now. Okay, a little bit of strange behavior here. What I'm doing is going to disconnect already here. So checklist complete, disconnect, take the flight directors off as well. So match thrust first. Okay, recycle flight directors. Okay, check rate of descent.
approaching minimums.
Checked.
Minimums.
Visual landing.
$100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Speed breaker. Reverse are normal. %. Okay, manual braking. Let's take this. Still reverses. So vacated on Bravo as planned. That's very nice. there's this one, level change, no. Okay, then this one. Kathmandu traffic, Singapore 442, runway 02, vacated taxi, Foxtrot, parking stand for Kathmandu traffic. Okay, I'll keep it slow since we need 3 minutes more, 3 minute cooldown anyway. So I can come back to what should we put it as? Let's do 1001, yeah. So parking stand number 4 right here. So lights off, weather radar is off already. Okay, there's definitely a downslope here, I'm going to use a bit of brakes. Okay, so we started AP a bit earlier. So park brake set. We have 3 minutes already waiting for the APU. So once it reaches about 400, that's when you can, yeah, once when the blue light come on, huh? There you go, 2 blue, 1 red, engine's dead. Cabin crew, doors to disarm and cross check. Okay, 1 and 2 below 20%, articulation off. And temperature is 18. We'll keep the, yeah, we'll take the APU bleed on. Yeah, there's not going to be any ground there here, so APU bleed on. We will like it come on. Yeah, set the checklist and the trim as well. Four units. Okay, shutdown checklist. Shutdown checklist, fuel pumps. We have all off except for the APU. Passenger signs off. Probe heat, auto, hydraulic panel is okay. Voice recorder on. Hydraulic panel. Okay, take the hydraulic pumps off as well. Hydraulic panel set. Articulation light off. Flaps up, no lights. Parking brake is set. Engine start levers are cut off. Weather radar is off. Shutdown checklist complete. Okay, so very nice here. Let's get some ground services. So Kathmandu, from what I saw, they use both forward and lefts there. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's also get the forward and aft card baggage. Okay, then we can do a nice little walk around here. Yeah, just a nice short one. So yeah, very nice here, completed one sector. Next sector will be coming up very shortly. Yeah, return sector back to Singapore, and that will be indeed the last revenue sector of the 737NG. Yeah, for SIA. Yeah, so neither Victor, Mike Golf November afterwards goes to either Brisbane or Alice Springs or somewhere. Yeah, will be with Qantas. I think Victor Hotel X Zulu Quebec. That's what the X-Ray Zulu Quebec. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. So very nice here down here in Kathmandu. Yeah, and we will see you for the return sector back to Singapore shortly.